Here we are, by special request, a look at the mankier limb. You can see it's been reduced a bit now, it's more rounded on the belly. The problem is it's too thick, it's too stiff, and I don't want to take too much off the belly and lose the heartwood, but if I take some off the sapwood where it looks thick, say I reduce the sapwood from there to there, but if I go straight across I'll be into the heartwood here. So how do I know how far down to go in the centre without risking cutting into the heartwood? That's the dilemma. So what I've done is I've got plenty here, but just inboard from the knock groove here I've gone down a little bit, just enough that I can see. That helps, a bit of shade. I've exposed a growth ring and I've followed that ring along. That way I can be fairly certain that I'm not going to go down into the heartwood. I haven't been obsessive about it. Let's try and get some more shade here so you can see a bit better. Yeah. So that's one aspect of it. Then, having done that, what I can do is I can, rather than having it flat across the back, I can round off these corners a bit, which I've been doing off and on. So you can see it's the proportion of heartwood to sapwood isn't looking too bad along there. You've still got these funny areas where it's, you know, streaky stuff. Doesn't look too bad there. So it's gradually looking less bad. And the point about, there's the reflex. The point about trying to reflex it here is I've got the exposed pith, I've got these knots. I'm just a bit worried if I try and reflex it, it could start splitting and opening up. I mean, I may do it, I may add a little gentle bit of reflex, but we'll see. Now, with the work I've done here, the upper limb is looking much more in tune with the lower. Still a little bit stiff, but since the last video I've done some more, so it's really ready to get it back on the tiller again. But you can sort of get an idea, it's starting to look more like a reasonable limb. And as I take wood off the side and round this corner, it is exposing more heartwood. There's still, that area there is still where it was bandsawed out, but it's gradually getting narrower. It'll be quite a bit narrower at the tip when I get to put the knock on. But again, I've got this funny area here. I'll probably leave that wide, because if I narrow it and get rid of that knot and that one, it will just be too thin. So I'll leave that there. My guess is, well, I'm not sure where that comes from. I don't think it can come from here. I think that must come from here, but there's no real mark. There's nothing too drastic there. But then if it radiates out from the centre of the tree, there's the centre of the tree, well, a line from that pith to that knot would be all hidden in the wood and I wouldn't be able to see it. So there's potential weakness there. So I'll probably just leave that wide and thick and let it do its funky thing. I might dig out all this black manky stuff and just see if I can get this to fall out or expose it or whatever. But on the back, filling it in on the back won't add anything to the strength. If I want to make it stronger on the back, I'd have to rasp that off and put a little patch over it, a nice long thin patch of sapwood to give it some strength. Anyhow, that's a bit of a chat about the dodgy limb. So it's coming on, but not obviously not finished yet. I'll pop it back on the tiller so you can see the progress. Right, couple of things. I've done a bit more work since the last video, mostly on the outers. Not a lot. I've put another turn on my Magic string tightness. That's taut now. It's not braced, but it's just taut. And we'll have a look. The other thing is, I'm probably not going to post again until after Christmas, or after the winter solstice, so have a good solstice, Christmas, whatever you celebrate this time of year. If you want to run around naked in the snow, that's fine, just don't post the video. Emily Cat sends her regards as well. Right, there. That's looking a lot more symmetrical. There's 70, we're now at 22. I reckon that's looking like I could brace that now. Right limb's coming around a lot more. Still a bit stiff here in the outers, but it's certainly, let's get down out the way and give it a good old exercise. So you can see where it's flexing. Yeah, middle of that right limb stiff. It's moving about a foot out from the centres, flexing nicely, but just right of centre, it's still stiff. Left limb, mid left limb a little bit stiff still. Oh no, I'll have a good old look at the video. There we are. That 21 at 70. 70 divided by 21 equals 3.33 pounds per inch times 28, 93, so it's a 93 pound at 28 bow. I've got plenty of timber to take off still. Yeah, there you go. Anyhow, that's probably it for till after the holiday. Have fun. Have as much fun as you can whilst simultaneously staying COVID free.